beautiful people, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. My name is Georgia. So we are going to do a recap and review of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 8, Episode 9. I did not do a review of Episode 7 and 8 because I've been busy and I didn't feel like going back and just doing another review. So we're just gonna continue on with Episode 9, titled Beyond Scared Stormi. So I did watch the 2 episodes, I just didn't do a review of it. So now we remember where we left off, where Stormi was, Courtney said that the police officers came to the warehouse looking for her, and they wouldn't tell him what for. So he had suggested that she call her attorney to find out what's going on. So she called and found out that she had 2 warrants out for her arrest. So she's like, you know what? Let me go ahead and deal with this. Let me go ahead and handle this. So this is where we are now. We're picking up where she is getting ready to go and turn herself into the police. She has her hairstylist and her makeup artist with her. She said she told Courtney to go ahead and take their son to daycare because she didn't want him to see any of this happening. So she's gonna go turn herself in. She's getting her makeup done because if she's gonna have a mugshot, she might as well make it look good. So that's where we are with it. She said she called her mother, and her mother basically told her, good for you, because we didn't know that her family had advised her not to do the show, and I guess she didn't listen to them. So mama is like, yeah, this is what you get for not listening to me. Tough love, as she said. But we're going to get more into detail with that. It so happens, though, that Courtney's mother showed up for her, She came over. She told her that, you got this. We're here for you. Just go ahead and deal with this because there's no way around it. Stormi says she wasn't going to wait to be out and about in the street to be stopped and arrested in the street. So that's why she's going to go turn herself in. And like I said, Courtney's mother came over and, was just there for her, giving her some comforting words. See her breaking down in tears. And as she puts it, she said that she's getting arrested because somebody came to her job, her warehouse, and messed with her. And I'm not exactly sure. I forgot what happened between her and Miss Black Titanic, because I believe that's the person who had the warrant out, who had the complaint, and now there's a warrant out for arrest. I think it was threatening. She said threatening communications or harassing communications or something to that effect. And Miss Black Titanic is taking it further. And you also remember that she's also suing Maurice as well. So yeah, there's quite a lot going on with the YouTuber Miss Black Titanic. All right, so that was Stormi's segment right there. Now we have Tisha, Destiny, and Latricia. They're meeting, and they're meeting because Destiny she needs their help. Not really needs their help, but she's just including them in her project that she's doing, where she says she has a home fragrance line coming out. And the first item, I should say, is going to be a candle. So she's bringing them out to a candle making place called Embrace Candles. But if I remember correctly, wasn't Embrace Beauty the name of Melody's beauty line before she decided not to go that way? Because it was when her and Marta were together that she had that name. And then she changed it to 7th Avenue Beauty. Wasn't Embrace Beauty her line? And now we have Embrace Candles. So is Melody a part of this, or is this just a whole different entity? So that's just a question I have. So we'll see. So they're talking about what happened at the gala, at Stormi's Lovers and Friends gala. Letitia wasn't able to attend, but we did have Destiny there, and she's telling Tisha how she's telling Destiny's telling Tisha how Trish had her man rub the body oil on her and stuff like that. And then Trish was like, but wait a minute, what happened with you and Sunny? I saw that you guys, went off to talk, and Destiny was like, well, being that it was Stormi's event, Stormi didn't want no mess happening at her event, so she put us in the room. Destiny made it known what she said to Sunny about Moses sleeping with half the women in St. Louis and stuff like that. And then Tisha asked, if you wanted him, do you think you could get him back? And Destiny was like, oh hell yes, but that's not what I want. You know, I don't want him back. Once he's gone, he's gone. She's like, but if I wanted him back, it wouldn't be no contest. Believe that. so yeah, Destiny was flexing with her big D energy. But yeah, that was it with those ladies. I believe Trish was talking to them about their eating habits, and Tisha told her that Destiny did invite her out for chicken and waffles that she ate. And Trish was like, so that would be your cheat day. And then Destiny was like, every day is cheat day for her. So she was messing with Tisha. But it's okay, because Tisha, we could see that she's losing the weight and it looks good. So therefore, they were just messing around with each other. But there was a little bit of, not tension, but you know how you're getting to know people. They're all still not comfortable with each other. Trish is the new girl, even though we have Tisha and Destiny. They really never hung out like that before. But they're all still getting over that phase, you know, where, okay, girl, can I trust you to say certain things around you and then not, you know, bite me in the butt or something. But that's the feeling I got from that segment with the ladies. So we leave them there. And now we have Stormi and Courtney. Looked like Courtney went to go pick her up from the precinct, the jailhouse, wherever he picked her up from. And she was telling him about her experience. She said it was all of 15 minutes she was in there. She was in handcuffs. She was having a panic attack and stuff. People came in there and told her it's okay. Don't worry about it. You know, you'll just get through it. And she voiced to Courtney again how she felt about her mother not showing up for her. So Courtney's like, all right, but if you feel that way, then you need to talk to her. Stormi was like, I don't know. You know my mother. She don't be listening to nobody. It's her way or no way. He's like, well, still get it off your chest. Go talk to Miss Betty and let her know how it made you feel that she did not show up for you. But we're going to get into that later on, because the last segment of this episode, it was her and her mother talking. So Stormi told him that, you know, she appreciated his mom being there for her. And it made a huge difference, the fact that his mother was there. But it really hurt her feelings that her mom did not show up for her. So that was the car ride home between Stormi and Courtney. All right, next segment, we have Trish and her sister. So Trish is letting us, you know, we're getting to know her this season, her first season. She's letting us know that she spoke to her kids about Kenny, and she wanted to get their opinion on it. And we see that the kids, they like him, because as her son puts it, you know, he don't see her laugh. He's never seen her laugh as much as she has with Kenny. So therefore, even though she's not with their dad, he just wants to make sure his mom is happy. And that's all kids want for their parents. They want to make sure that whoever they're with is treating them well. So her son and her daughter, they gave the approval. So now she wants to break the news to her sister. She has two sisters, one in California and one that lives within Alabama. I'm not sure if it's in Huntsville, but she says she's going to tell this sister first, because they can be kind of judgmental. So therefore, she wanted to have a sit down with the sister that's closer, and then tell the other one. So she set up a little, you know, what they call it, nosh, where she set out some fruits and nuts and stuff, you know, whatever her sister wanted, and some drinks. So she invited the sister over. I found it strange that they didn't hug each other when she came in the door. Maybe they cut that part out, because I haven't seen my sister in a while. I'm going to give you a hug. All right, so they came in. She came in, she sit down, she let her sister know she spoke to the kids. And she let her know that her and Kenny have been living together for almost a year. So her sister was like, damn, girl, you didn't say nothing all this time. I thought you would have been getting back with your husband, not knowing that they have been separated for 4 years. Because sister asked, how long have you been separated from what's his name, Marquez? they have been separated for 4 years. And her sister was like, I thought you guys would just take it a break and that you would eventually get back together. I mean, you've been with him since high school. And, you know, we're trying to be like our parents where they've lived together for 32 years. They've been married. They have 6 kids. And they make it work through thick and thin. And Trish was like, yeah, yes, yeah. I think Trish wanted to say more at that point. But out of respect for her parents, she decided to keep her mouth shut. She told her sister, listen, I want to be married and I want to be happy in my marriage. She's like, I want to die happy in my marriage. So she's basically telling her sister, I am not happy with the man. She said that we just not compatible. And I think we try to make it work for the sake of the kids and also to be like our parents, but it's just not working. And I'm not happy. She told us that she started working out to work off some of the anger that was within her. And that's how she became a trainer. And if she's not happy in the marriage, why would you stay in it? You need to be happy. You know, it's your life you're living. You can't care what other people say on the outside. You have to make sure that you're happy and that you're being treated well. And you know when you're not being treated well. So she told her sister, she's like, Kenny makes me happy. We are so compatible in so many ways. And you could just see on her face when she's talking. She started smiling. And she just seems so much softer when she's talking about Kenny versus when she was talking about Marquez. So her sister was like, you know what? We were hoping that you would still just get over or go through what you're going through and go back to Marquez. But at the end of the day, your happiness is what matters. And it's as if her sister gave her the approval. And she said she felt like a weight had been lifted off her shoulder. Her heart felt lighter. And she just felt good. So I'm happy to hear that for Trish. So her and Ken supposed to be moving forward. So now we gonna see if she gonna serve her husband those papers and if he gonna sign it. 4 years of separation. Let go. Like I said before my other video, take Melody with you and let her slap the papers down on the table and say, sign the papers. Oh my God, just sign the papers. All right, so that was it with Trish and her sister. Now we have Martell, Courtney, Chris, and Ken. And I'm like, oh God, once Martell enters, you know it's either going to be some drama, it's going to be some comedy. Now, which side are we going to take? Him and Chris together, they are funny. Now we have Ken and Courtney, still not too comfortable in, but Courtney did tell us that the only the two guys he liked to hang out with is Martell and Chris. You know, like the Scott's brothers. He never say he didn't like them, but he just, I like to hang out with Martell and Chris. So Courtney invited them out for bowling, and he invited Ken as well. And as we know, he's known Ken since they were kids. So, they're cool. So as he walks in, who was there first? It was Courtney first, then we have Chris coming in, then Martell, and then Ken. And before Ken got there, we have Courtney saying, Ken is coming, and I don't know, you guys may have something you want to talk about. So Martell's like, what? All right. Now we see the uncomfortableness a little bit, like, okay, what's happening? Now we see Ken arriving last, and as he comes through the door, we hear Chris go, yo, it's Megatron. I'm like, okay. He's comparing Ken to a transformer because he's so big and thick, he's powerful. So Ken was like, man, you getting there too. Look at you. You looking strong as hell too. He's like, not like you, bro. Like Marceau said, Mr. and Miss Body of Huntsville. All right, so they're in there, they're bowling, they're bragging about how they could bowl. Chris is like, I might be the smaller one here, but I'm the master bowler. He goes in to show us how he could bowl. He even does the pose where he throws the ball. He does that pose where he lifts the leg up like, ah. And Martha was like, good job, Chris, good job. So yeah, the guys were clowning on each other like that. I believe it was Martell who asked, how's Stormi doing? And all Courtney says, well, she good. Yeah, and he gets in the confessional and he's like, you know what? I'm not even going to tell these dudes what happened with Stormi because what? in none their business. So I'm like, all right, say they'll find out just like everybody else what happened. I hear that, Courtney. You don't be putting your business out there on Front Street like that. Now they're talking about the gala. Talking about how Ken was rubbing down his girlfriend with the oil and how Martell backed out, because remember the gala was Stormi and Courtney's event, and Courtney was like, but you backed out at the last minute. He was like, no, I didn't. Y'all gave me the option to do it and I chose not to. He's like, I got this dad bod that I'm working on right here and I just didn't want to be in front of anybody. But remember, I think Martell has a fear, even though he's like that, he has a fear of the crowds. We saw it when he did the Embrace Beauty with Melody, I think back in season 1. He pushed Melody to the front when they were still married. We saw it when they had the Black Expo where he didn't get on stage. He didn't want to get on stage and talk. I forgot if he did that. We saw it also when he did the 2 wine launch for his wine brand, Inez Wine. I forget the name. Where he did it, I believe, in Atlanta, and also when he did it in Huntsville. He just choked up in front of the mic. So he has a fear of speaking. So that's something he got to work on if he's going to be doing this long term. You know, there are coaches out there that you could do. There's ways to practice to do it. Martell, that's something you could work on, because if you're going to be a business person, you're going to have to be able to articulate yourself. Okay? And now I understand why Melody was being pushed in the forefront when you guys were married, because she has a better handle on doing that. You like to be in the background, you know, being in the operations part of it, where she likes to be up front. So therefore, y'all played your roles while you were in your marriage. So yeah, they were talking about the gala, the dad bod, and then we have Ken telling Martell that, you know, Trish is mad at you because you went to Stormi's house and you pretended you didn't know who she was. So Martell was like, you know, and I remembered her after, you know, he's like, oh, you know how many women I deal with? And Chris was like, all right, Martell, we don't need to know your business. Don't take it there. And he said, especially if we didn't do anything, meaning sleep together, especially if we didn't do anything, I'm not going to remember. And then Ken was like, yeah, or Courtney too. I forget which one of them said, yeah, that's me too. Especially if we ain't do nothing, I'm not going to remember you. So that's the excuse. He's like, I remember her now. I remember her, you know, dating my brother. But that's how I remember her. And then I don't know how they got on it. Then he said to I believe it was Chris who said to Ken, so you guys engaged yet? And Ken was like, not yet, because she's still married. So Martell him jumping, so you the side dude? I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy is something else. Ken was like, if I'm a side dude, I'm going to be the best side dude ever. So they had a laugh about that. And he said, no, really. Then I forget who asked, you know, no, Martell, he put it out there. He said, I want to be married again. And I believe it was Ken or Courtney said, to your baby mama. And he like, no, it was Chris, because Chris was sitting right next to him. And Chris said, to your baby mama. And Martell kind of shook his head and give Chris the side-eye look. So he's like, I want to be married again, but I don't know if the person I'm married to is going to be able to deal with the fact that I have 5 kids. And Courtney was like, well, unless you marry your baby mama, she already know the situation. And Martell's like, y'all need to stop. Then he gets in the confessional. He's like, these guys are out here joking about my life and I'm serious about getting married again. And they're over here making fun of it. I don't like that. So who does Martell have lined up to get married to? Because he was dating Sheree at one point. Ariane is not going anywhere. And who else is in the picture? We don't know about anybody else that's actually out there that they're talking about. Or, you know, does he have somebody in the cut? Is he going to come out with somebody? Let's see. But Martell wants to be married. Well, you don't find too many men who want that married life, because you're supposed to keep the marriage sacred. Make sure that you honor the union. Don't cheat on your spouse. But it looks like Martell wants a wife, and then he wants to go out and get a girlfriend. He wants a wife and a girlfriend. He's not going to be faithful to whoever he's with And like he had told Melody in season 1, they're gonna have to get with the program, because after he talked to the elderly guys and Melody asked him what did they say, he told her they said that she should know what it's about already. So I guess there's a lot of that going on out there. Most men keep it discreet, women do it too as well. However, Martell was out here flaunting his girlfriend and expected his wife to be okay with it, and that's why he's where he is right now. So that was the scene between the men. They what's his name? That was the scene with the men. They had a good time. Courtney told him that he have to go move because they're moving warehouses, and he's asking them, jokingly asking them if they want to come help him move. I don't know if he was joking or not, but he said, I gotta go move the warehouse. You guys want to come help me? And that's how they ended that scene. So yeah, that was it with the guys. That was a fun scene to watch. That was lighthearted scene to watch. Now we have the heavy scene, the heavy scene. This is with Stormi and Miss Betty, her mom. Miss Betty came over, I'm guessing a couple of days after what happened. They first started off lightheartedly, where Stormi told her mom that, she's asking her, are you ready for another grandbaby? Because we're working on it. And Miss Betty's like, yes, of course. And she's like, well, we're looking at a surrogate. And she was like, that's fine, because just like Courtney was concerned about your well-being, so am I. So having a surrogate is fine. We find out that she is doing the whole procedure in California, because based on some of the laws now that some of these states have put into place, it's kind of risky for her to do anything in Alabama. So therefore, she's going to do the whole procedure in California. We do see her on social media in California looking at places to buy or rent. I'm not sure exactly if she's purchasing a home. We all know that she also went to a TikTok event in California, where she is the first person, not black woman, but the first person to hit $1 million in sales on TikTok Live. So she was invited to the TikTok creator event in California, and then she spent a couple more days out there looking at a place to either buy or rent. So yeah, so she tells us that she's looking to do the whole procedure in California. Now she tells Miss Betty, let's go outside, let's go talk. So they went out to like a cool spot on the property. They're sitting there, they're talking, and she tells her mom straight up, Mom, what we went through the other day, it hurts me, because I called you as, to be my mom, to be there for me, and you basically told me it's good for me what happened and you're not coming. So her mom told her, she's like, girl, you call me late at night, and I don't live in Huntsville, and I am also taking care of my mom, your grandmother, and she's 80 years old. I can't just get up and leave her by herself. So Stormi was like, yes, I understand that, but you didn't have to make the statement like this is what you get for being on a reality show. So she's like, so what do you mean by that? So she's like, we told you, or we warned you, we asked you not to do the reality show, and you didn't do it. Now you're in a position where, people are beating up on you verbally in order to elevate one person on the show. And she's like, you're speaking in riddles. Tell me what you're saying. So she's like, Melody has her fans that, they call the mellometers. She activates them. This is what her mom says. Yeah, I'm using the word activate because she activates them, and they go in on other castmates to find, get into their personal space, which is why we're here where we are, because a YouTuber, Miss Black Titanic, said she was going down to the warehouse to buy some products, and Stormi and them came out and told her, if you don't get the hell out of here, I'm gonna beat your ass, or something to that effect. And this is why we have this charge on her. I don't know if Miss Black Titanic was actually going in there to investigate or whatever, because if you remember, there was another YouTuber called Funky Deneva who went in front of Sheree Whitfield house before it was built, And that video went viral. I don't know if it was his pink spandex that he was wearing, or the fact that he was so slim. He's standing in the bushes and what he was saying. Because if you guys don't follow him, he's funny. And I don't know if that's the same approach that Miss Black Titanic was taking. Was she really going down there to support Stormi's business and buy some products? And she said that Stormi took it the wrong way, saying that, you know, she was being attacked. We have people coming by. We also have another YouTuber who went into Destiny's house when it was up for sale, and you know, you have the open house, and he went through the house and did a video on that as well. So all of that, you know, is in play. And as a mother, I guess she was telling her, you know, you don't need to be part of this to be successful, but Stormi wants to be on TV. So somehow her and Mel connected, and Mel was able to make it happen. I think her mother didn't like the fact that she was doing it, because we see from reality TV is not new. It's been around for a while. We see what happens on most of these shows, and she didn't want her daughter to be in that situation. So this is an act of tough love that she was telling her, that, you know, this is what you get for being on reality TV. And Stormi was like, but as a mother, I needed you there to be soft and, you know, just say kind words, because this is something that I'm going through. And her mom was like, well, this ain't the first time you... And Stormi was like, what? Not the first time what? You getting arrested? I'm like, oh shit. Are we gonna address the first time? It was not addressed. Stormi was like, this is a whole different situation. This is not like before. I was 18 when I got arrested last time, so I don't understand why you coming at me like that. The mom was like, well, I said what I said. And Stormi was like, but I need an apology. And I'm like, I'm not going to apologize for something that I meant what I said when I said it. Stormi buckled down and wanting an apology. And finally, her mom gave her the apology. What I didn't like was when she said that Mel tell her fans to activate, and she's using other people on the show or her fans or messing with people on the show to elevate her. And he's like, Mel did not say anything, and as long as she's able to shine, she's not gonna have anything to say. So she wanted Mel to get involved when all of this was going down with the YouTuber. But from what I see with Melody, she does not take sides. She's usually impartial. She just watches what's happening, and unless it's a personal attack on her, she's not gonna come and say anything. So I'm not sure what Miss Betty actually wanted Mel to do about that whole situation with Stormi. I think Stormi had the chance to make it right, and she didn't. I don't know exactly what Miss Black Titanic wanted or want from her, and I'm not sure what happened with the case. I do believe that I read somewhere on social media where she said that the case was dismissed. She said it in a comment on somebody else's post that the case was dismissed against her, and I'm not exactly sure where it is now. I'm just like I tell most people, I watch what's on the show. I may dabble a little bit in social media, but mostly what's on the show is what I'm gonna comment about. I'm not getting into this back and forth with nobody on social media. I watch the show, I recap, and I review it. So that is where we are with it. She got her apology from her mom. She told her mom at the end that you don't have to be old and stuck in your ways all the time. It's okay to bend a little bit and you know, just be there for me as a mother. That's all I want. Just for you to be there for me as a mother. Oh, and Stormi mentioned that this was not the first time she let her down in a big way. She said that on the day of her wedding, her mom was late. They already finished with the ceremony and was walking out of the church when her mom showed up. Her mom told her that, no, I was in the back getting my makeup done. Stormi was like, everybody was done already. Makeup was done. We were on the altar doing what we had to do. So you're telling me that Stormi's mother was not sitting in the pews of the church when she said, I do to Courtney? So what is that saying? You're not there for Courtney. I've never seen her actually interact with Courtney either, come to think of it. I've just seen her interact with Stormi and the baby. Now that I think about it. So Stormi's like, this is the second time that I had a big event happening and you did not show up for me, and that's not cool. So they went back and forth on that for a little bit, and then they finally decided to go back inside. And Stormi got her apology. Her mom's like, make sure that you write this down in the book that I apologize. I don't think it's ever gonna happen again, because I pride myself on not apologizing to anybody. So that was Stormi and her mom, and that was the end of this episode. What do I see? They have a preview of what's coming up in next week in episode. I see Stormi and Martell talking. I think they're digging a little bit more into the relationship, or with the relationship of Trisha and Martell. I think there's a little bit more to it. And what else do I see? I forget, but when it comes on, I'll definitely go ahead and do a recap and a review for you. That this one went on a little bit long because the interaction between Stormi and her mom had me fascinated. I have a great relationship with my mom, and I can't imagine her saying something like that to me. Now, first of all, I'm not trying to get in no situation where I'm in that type of situation. And for your mom to say to you, that's what you get for being on a reality show, that's not cool. All right, guys, I thank you for watching. Make sure that you thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in reality TV reviews, entertainment news, entertainment gossip, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I think I'm gonna review also that new show on OWN. It just started this week. I think it's called Family Matters or something like that, where you have a black family in Houston, Texas, who everybody in the family is into real estate. Because I believe this show, the premise of Love and Marriage Huntsville, that's what the show was supposed to be about, and it just took off in a whole nother direction. So now Cardos is also doing this other show. I'm gonna go watch it and see if it's what it's about, and then decide if I want to review it. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe. Like I said, thank you for watching, and until next time, be sure to take care of yourselves and your families. Bye bye.